This season has been... Okay, give me a second. This season has been a roller coaster of emotion for me. Physically, I feel like I'm the best that I've ever been. And also mentally. After everything we've been through as a team, it's kind of crazy to be back. But with Monica's guidance, I think we're all up for the challenge. Everything that I do on that mat is for her. We can, we will, we must. Honestly, being a Navarro cheerleader is like a dream come true for me.
Danny, you're not actually a Navarro cheerleader.
What?
You're just really obsessed with the show.
Oh. Well, shit.
Jones Vibes.
What's up, YouTube friends? My name is Danny Jones, and welcome to Jones Vibes. First and foremost, thank you so much for clicking on this video, and if you enjoy it, please hit that back handspring button, like button, then go ahead and click subscribe as well as hit the notification bell. That'll keep you up to date when I make more content. And this is a show that I just had to make a review on. Cheer Season 2 is finally here on Netflix, and so obviously, I'm here to talk about it. But before we go full out on this thing, I just have to say, there are spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen Cheer Season 2, stop building that pyramid and stop watching this video right now. And if you have seen it, like me, let's tumble into this thing and hit 0. And yeah, just to start, I want to highlight Netflix for what they've been doing with these shows. I mean, it really showcases how dedicated these athletes are and how hard they work. And a reason why I say shows, as in plural, is because I'm also a huge fan of the show Formula One on Netflix. Both Cheer and Formula One have shined a light into a sport that I never would have watched. And now I'm a huge fan, so props to Netflix for doing this. But yeah, I was never really a huge fan of cheerleading, I just didn't know much about it. And so my wife ended up convincing me to watch the first season of Cheer, and I was blown away. These athletes are just incredible. I mean, Ladarius and Gabby Butler, they're just insane. And I was also really taken aback with just how emotional the season was. It was pretty crazy, and so honestly, I've been anticipating Cheer Season 2 quite a bit. And my initial thoughts are that this season, just like the first, is just very emotional. There is so much that goes into preparing for Daytona and then competing. Just the whole concept of working so hard for a whole season just for one moment to prove yourself. It's very reminiscent of some things that I've personally been through in my life. But season 2 was definitely different. Like, it was divided into 2 parts pretty much. And there's a lot of moving parts, so I'm just going to briefly break this thing down. We catch up with the team in their 2020 season, and so obviously I knew that this got canceled because of COVID, but I didn't know just how close to Daytona that they got. They were like 5 days away or 10 days away or something really close. It must have been heartbreaking for the whole team, as well as all the athletes that came back after season 1. They had gained some fame after season 1, so they probably wanted to come in and prove themselves, but then it all just went away. And so the real season we got was the season after this, where we didn't see people like Morgan and Lexi. A lot of those people just had to move on with their lives, it looks like. And then you add in all the Jerry stuff. He was one of my favorite characters from the first season, and so when this happened, it was kind of a shock to everybody. And I'm not going to get into it any more than that because, yeah, that's just a lot. But after this, we catch up with this new team. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the first season, Navarro wins in Daytona. They run down in the sand and jump in the water. It's like a sort of tradition, kind of like how race car drivers drink cold milk. And holy cow, I bet that tastes good. But just like last season, Navarro is training hard and they want to win Daytona. And one could say that I'm cheering for them. But there's another team to cheer for as well, and they are Trinity Valley College. And I think it's really cool that now we have 2 teams that we're focusing on. It adds a whole extra layer to this thing, and their coach, Vontae, is just awesome. Him and his assistant coach, Chris Franklin, they have a very different style from Monica. You can tell they're both just eager to win, and they even state that their team is viewed as an underdog, even though they don't think they are. They think they're just as good as Navarro. And I'm starting to think that myself. And just like Navarro, there's a few athletes that are kind of highlighted on the team. We have Jada, and I thought she had a really cool arc throughout the show. Like, in the first half of the season, it kind of seemed like she wanted to be a leader, but she wasn't quite there. And then in the second half, she had fully embodied that role for the team. But then you have Angel, I think her name's Angel, and she's just this crazy athlete, crazy tumbler. And then you also have Devontae, who's kind of like this young first year, and the coach, Vontae, kind of takes him under his wing. And he's also a part of this group with these 2 other guys, and they call them the Weenies, which I thought was funny. And side note, weenie dogs are pretty cute. I actually have one sitting next to me right now. I love you, Tootsie. But then we go back to Navarro College. And this is where the show's roots really lie, you know. Of course, we have the GOAT. We have Gabby Butler. She's back. You have Maddie, who has been on the team, but now she has taken this role as a leader, and she's such a hard worker. It's crazy. And then we have the super talented Cassidy and Jillian, and they're like best friends. And we also get highlighted some of Jillian's life, and you meet her family and kind of get to know her, so that was pretty cool. It was honestly really nice coming into the second half of this season with some new faces to get to know. And Navarro's team is still super talented. And so heading into Daytona, you kind of feel like they have the slight edge there. I mean, it's Monica. But we probably should pause and just talk about why we're all here. I think you know. It's Ladarius. And him and Monica have drama, and more drama. Things just got tense. Hey, what's for lunch? Drama. And yeah, we get some insight into their relationship, and, you know, he said some things, she may have said some things, and in the end, they cry a lot, and I cried also a lot. I have allergies, though, that's why I was crying. But it seems like they worked things out, no pun. So that's good, and I also hope that Ladarius is somehow in Season 3. Like, I hope he comes and is, like, the assistant coach somewhere or something. But then we get to Daytona. And the first season actually didn't show us, but there's 2 routines that count, not just one. They do the routine twice. The first run through they have on the first day is 25% towards their score, and the second day, the final routine, is 75% towards their score. So if Gabby hits the landing and Maddie, but then with Trinity Valley, if they hit their pyramid, it was a lot to handle. And after day 1, Navarro's looking really good. Like, they nailed their performance. And Trinity Valley actually stumbles a little bit because Devontae stumbles his tumble. And I really felt for the young kid because they even, like, built it up and hyped it up that, like, he was a little bit nervous. But day 2 in Daytona, Trinity Valley gets on the stage and they annihilate their routine. And the way that this is edited is just so crazy and epic. But yeah, they killed it. And then Navarro steps up to bat and Jillian kind of falls out of her pyramid a little bit. So even though it wasn't that big of a deal, all those points count, as well as Devontae's mistake the first day. So honestly, it was kind of like evenly matched going into this decision. And I was happy for both teams. I mean, they both tried so hard. But there can only be one. And then we get the announcement, and Trinity Valley wins the House Cup. I mean, Trinity Valley won the title. They won the title in Daytona. And I was so happy for them, especially the head coach, Vontae, as well as the assistant coach, Chris, who is now going to be a co-head coach over there. And their athletes that just worked so hard. They got to run down to the beach and jump in the water. It was cool. And I felt bad for Navarro. I mean, Jillian, she took complete ownership for her mistake. It was really heartbreaking. She was like, I'm sorry, everybody. But her team rallied around her and made sure that she knew that, it wasn't all just her fault. And yeah, I definitely just have to say, I felt like the second half of this season really had that season 1 feel to it. And the first half, although it was different, there was just a lot of things to address. And so I felt like the creators of the show and everybody behind it, they did the best that they could with what they had. And it was great. But I am eager to know, what did you think about this season of Cheer? Did you enjoy it as much as the first? Are you a fan of this show? Who's your favorite character? And who do you think's going to win it next season? TVCC is looking pretty good, but then again, it's Monica. But please let me know down in the comments. Feel free to start an open dialogue with me. And also, if you enjoyed this review, hit that like button for me. That helps my videos get out to more people, and I would really, really appreciate it. If this is your first time watching Jones Vibes, I do movie and television reviews, as well as I am a musician, so I post some music from time to time. My last video that I posted was about the Dexter finale, so if you saw that and you're a fan of that, check that out. But yeah, I hope all of you are safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you next time.